Hi everyone, so I am Diva, but before that I want to show you in front of me. So this is University of Toronto, St. George campus. So it's one of those colleges. U of T has 7 different colleges, right? This is the Trinity College. So here's the thing. So I did my 4 years bachelor's degree in psychology and neuroscience here. So the reason I'm telling you that is because, yeah, there is a reason I will tell you later. But before that, I wanted to tell you my mom's story. So she was born and raised in a small village in Afghanistan. So she hasn't been to school. She is completely illiterate. But she cannot read or write, but she has raised 9 kids and she is a successful businesswoman, right? So back in 1990s, there was an extreme poverty, war, and political chaos in the country, and then my dad passed away as well, so she had to raise 4 younger daughters all on her own. So she was a tailor, so she made dresses and she sold them for an income. She grew vegetables, she raised chickens, she made every single thing that she can do with her own hands to feed her kids and bring food on the dinner table, right? So then Taliban came in. She moved us to Pakistan, where education was available for girls. So me and my 3 younger sisters, we were like a year apart from each other. We entered the school all together at the age of around 13 or 14 years old. We did 2 years of schooling in 1 year. I graduated high school at the top of my school, made my mom happy for that. And then I entered medical school, the second best medical school in the province, as the top 10 student, still making my mom a little bit more happy on that, right? And then what happens is that in Pakistan you can start like your professional degree in school, in this case medicine for my case, after the high school, right? So I did that after completing about a year and a half. We moved to Pakistan, and then we moved to Canada, not Pakistan, and then after that I started my undergrad in psychology and neuroscience here at U of T. So that's where it comes. Coming back to my mom's story, right? So she is 75 right now. You might be thinking she is retired or she is resting or doing things like that, but she is back home in our village, and she has built 25 wells, 2 houses, actually 3 houses, and she is employing 10-15 people for her project. Her big dream is to build a big hospital and a mosque in our village. So that's what the kind of person she is, right? So that's first was my story, me studying at U of T, and then telling you my mom's story. I'm going to tell you one more story, and then I'm going to connect all 3 together, right? So after graduating from U of T, I actually turned into entrepreneurship instead of going back into medicine. So I had a startup, and then I went to do an MBA in Boston at Harvard Business School. So while I was doing my MBA, I made sure that I go to every single, I would say, event in Boston. Then at MIT, between MIT and Harvard, they had this cafe was called Venture Cafe, right? And every single day there was something happening. There were so many events, not only at that cafe but around the city, right? So there is something that I noticed, the difference between Canadians and Americans, right? Americans are doing so much more with so much intensity and frequency, and that's one of the reasons that we Canadians are behind Americans, right? So my apologies in advance if you're sensitive to comparing Canadians with Americans, but that's also a truth, right? So that's was my story, my mom's story, comparing Canadians with Americans. So why I have this everything together, right? So my mom's story was because she was the kind of person who would be really, really active in every single thing that she was doing in her life. So helping people, helping neighbors, or doing things for her own kids and everything. And that gave her a chance to make sure that her daughters have a better future, right? And then me comparing Canadians to Americans, Americans are also doing a lot more with their life as compared to Canadians. And then the other story that I told you, that I studied at U of T here, right? So here's the thing. U of T is a really beautiful institution, right? It's almost for me feels like a second home, to be honest, right? So if it's the buildings, if it's the people, if it's the culture, it's a really supportive community. So that's the really positive side of it, right? But then I kind of, if I reflect back on my 4 years bachelor's degree, right? So there's this thing. So I have those math classes, those chemistry, that physics, stats, and everything, right? But I don't remember a single bit of it, right? Nor I was able to actually use it in my actual life, right? So if I have to compare, I would say my 4 years bachelor's degree here to the 50 books on psychology, self-growth, business, and venture, that has taught me a lot more compared to those 4 years, right? So I would say I literally wasted 4 years. I had a lot of student debt, and then I was hoping, okay, now I'm going to be actually getting a job, or I wanted to build my own startup. And to be honest, the MBA that I did, it was also a waste of time and money, that I would wanted to actually build a company and have my own startup. So here's the thing, formal education has become kind of, I would say, a norm for so many of us, right? And then we think that, okay, if we do this degree and that degree, that will help us to achieve, I would say, maybe like financial stability, right? At the end of everything, let's be honest, if I do a 4 years bachelor's degree, if I do an MBA, my main thing is, okay, I'm going to be having, to making good money, right? So that's the main thing. But then, yes, you make connections, yes, you learn so much and so many other things, but the truth is the truth, right? So, okay, so now trying to bring everything together, right? So what I wanted to do, I wanted to replace the 4 years bachelor's degree into a 4 months cohort for younger generation, right? So this is how it's gonna work, right? So I'm gonna dividing those 4 months into 2 semesters actually. So the first 2 months and then the last 2 months. The first 2 months it will be divided like this, right? So you have the first 10 days is self-discovery. You will be diving deeper into who you really are, what are your kind of, let's say, inclinations in your, actually like finding your life's purpose, right? So what do you really want to build? What is that something that excites you? So the first 10 days are being spent on that, and then the next, there will be another 20 days course sprint 1, and then another 20 days course sprint 2, and then the last 10 days will be like wrapping up everything together. So it's like 10, 20, 20, and then last 10 days, right? So in these first 2 months, students will be first self-discovery, and then they will be learning the skills using AI, online resources, and everything. And then so learning skills and self-discovery is happening in the first 2 semesters, and then in the first 2 months actually, and then in the last 2 months they will be actually building their own venture, right? So they will be having their own team by that time. They will be having connections with investors, and then they will be actually trying to build it up, right? So once those 4 months are being completed, then the top 3 to 5 teams will be selected in from a pool of around 250K. That will be invested in the top 3 to 5 teams, right? So that's about the founder cohorts that I am planning to be having it at the Nebula Cafe. So Nebula Cafe will be like an accelerator, an educational institute, and also a place where people eat, connect with each other. So it will be like a place where people learn, connect, make money, and at the same time they wanted to build something that they will be really proud of, so like building their own legacies. I think so I'm going to be leaving you with that. Have an amazing day. I hope it resonated with you. If yes, please reach out and let's talk about it. Bye bye. Hi, so I think so I missed some really crucial point there that with the story of my mom doing a lot more, or Americans doing a lot more than Canadians, right? The thing is that I wanted to provide a similar space for Canadians to do more with their lives, grow and connect. So that's the thing. Bye again.